Thank you very much, Ron.
Yeah, it's good. NAMA has been busy up in this part of the world.
Yes, I mean these things evolve, but it's what has happened is very interesting, and I think you may recall we referred to it earlier on as a possibility.
We did.
An American private investor fund has bought the Northern
Exactly
Ireland
what you said.
book. Well, I wouldn't say I said exactly that, but what I did say
You said
was
a bank, for an outside
I
bank.
said that one of the things to watch was that there appeared to be political pressure, both in Dublin and perhaps even from the executive, that if NAMA was offloading assets to generate cash for the Irish government, that the Northern Ireland portfolio may be one of the first, because it's not caught within the legislative remit of the South, which is very important. Because if you think about it, in the South, the legislative remit and the very strong strength of that means that virtually NAMA have phenomenal powers whereby the developer, he or she, can never be involved in any restructuring or rescue or redevelopment of a project. Now, whilst that to the layperson may seem fair, if you think it out, it's not the best value to the state in many instances, and the reason is quite often the best person, having made mistakes and having major collapse on the debt as a result of the world crisis, and indeed, if the truth is told, carelessness perhaps by developers here. But quite often one of the best people, perhaps part of a consortium now, as opposed to being in sole control, to further add value and develop a project which is currently in debt problems, is the actual developer or owner. That will mean from a Northern Ireland perspective that, and I think to be fair, the deal is announced, but if I interpret correctly what I'm reading in the papers, it's still heads of terms. These type of things will take a while to actually...
Take a while to come through.
But if it happens, and it's likely now it will happen, but you never know before the final document is signed, things can always fall through, but the principle is there. And the principle is that what we're really saying here is that within Northern Ireland, you're not going to have the restrictions of potentially legislation restricting your options. So it's more likely that a private sector investor will, yes, be looking for returns, but remember they bought it at allegedly just over €1 billion on a portfolio of over 4.6 billion. So it's a
good opportunity there.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, if you think about, I think we've talked about before, as a rule of thumb, I think most people's wealth fell by 45%. So if you think about, they bought this at 25%. And certainly some properties fell well over 50%, some has fallen 80%. But there are opportunities within that, and hopefully that will create a little bit of movement within the Northern Ireland market.
The punitive economics really seems to be the government's policy here. That what you're saying is as plain as the nose on your face, that people with experience who have got hurt grow again, and in the growing again become stronger, well positioned to do the business of rebuilding, but the government isn't encouraging that.
Well, you have to understand as well that part of the rationale, if you take it rather more the south than the north at present, part of the rationale for that is that a lot of people have been very severely hurt and wounded, and I've experienced a lot of pain, particularly the taxpayer, and they take exception if they think they've paid a lot of pain, and all of a sudden the person who they may allegedly contribute to that pain,
hard one to manage,
is flying off in their helicopter. Now, what you and I have talked about many times is that looking back in anger achieves nothing.
No good.
So what we have to do is learn from our mistakes and move on. Now, some of certainly the smartest ultimate business achievers in the world either failed once or came close to failure.
Yes.
Now, the reason that happened is we all know you learn from the pain.
You do learn.
And you never forget the pain. And tragically, you maybe have to incur the pain. So
come through it.
I would be confident going forward that these changes in NAMA in Northern Ireland potentially are very exciting.
So that NAMA money, that money that has been paid by the American consortium, where does that go?
That goes to NAMA, and they take over the NAMA loan book. But the significance is, these are private equity people, like you and me, except for American funds, right? They've also done a similar thing in Japan and Spain in the past. The company that did it. So what now happens is they're sitting with all these loans, which they paid about 25% for. So if the loan was $1 million, they maybe paid 250,000 for it, right? They would hope the asset is worth more than 250,000, but it may not be. But you can imagine they weren't able to pick and choose, so they had to take everything.
Everything. But there are no feathers on a frog. How are they going to get their money back?
So here goes.
If people are broke?
So here goes. So then they go and they say to developer X, Give us your proposals, how you can add value, how you can give us a good return for our 250,000. Developer X might say, I believe I can go and source private equity from X, Y, and Z. We can potentially sell this business for 350 if we do X, if we put a new shop here, or if we do. Do you understand? So really what you're doing is creating an opportunity perhaps for further private sector investment to come in, but it won't all be easy.
Yeah. Is this the windfall, let's call it that, from the Americans? Will this make a difference, do you feel, in the Republic's austerity budget?
I don't think it'll make too much of a difference in our budget, but I think it'll make a slight difference. I think Michael Noonan, the finance minister of the Republic, has made it very clear that all the signals are they want NAMA, and you know, the debate on NAMA, if the truth is told, it can't really be judged for 20 years. But the reality is, and people don't like admitting this because everybody likes to hit them, the reality is that I think world economists will argue that NAMA have played a significant part in stabilising the southern economy, albeit some of their measures were tough, some of their bureaucracy is very frustrating if you happen to be a debtor, but that's government money.
Did you catch last Saturday's wonderful Irish Times interview with Ken Whitaker?
I did.
Wow.
He's 97, yes. I've had the privilege of meeting Ken Whitaker on a few occasions, and the last time I met him, believe it or not,
man.
Yes, originally down the lane in Rostrevor.
My goodness.
The same lane that Ben Dunn lived in.
My goodness.
And my father.
Must have been something in the air in that lane.
The old forge is down there. That's just the lane behind the Kilbrony Inn there, down there.
Yes.
But Ken Whitaker is an amazing man. Very humble man, but one of those people that gains respect. You know, you can see the aura. The time I was in his company, he was, I would say he was about 85, 86. And he was really very enlightening company.
Oh, indeed.
Very enlightening.
I did some television and radio work with him. Maybe he would have been younger. He would have been in his early 70s when I did that. But very impressive, and I always remembered him. And we would have communicated once or twice thereafter. And he would always have maintained the contact. It was nice. Humble man, as you say.
Humble man, but very deep thinker.
He went to be the governor of the Central Bank of Ireland.
Yeah, he was also at one stage the they don't call it the chancellor. I forget the title they gave of the National University as well.
Yes, yeah. The University College Dublin, they've changed their marketing strategy. They've changed their logo, all of that. UCD, they've taken the Bible out of the coat of arms and just put in a book. There's ructions over it down there. People, leave history alone. We've built our reputation on what we are, and now you're changing it. I don't know. You didn't go there, did you, to that university?
No, I went to Queen's.
You're a Queen's man.
Look, if you think of in the overall scale of things, these things happen.
It's about more than symbolism.
It'll ultimately be the brand. I actually thought it was Trinity.
Is it Trinity?
I thought it was Trinity.
The university, is it Trinity?
Is it not Trinity who want to call themselves University of Dublin or something?
Yeah.
But, you know, time will tell.
Time will tell. My mother used to say,
you have to mix, if you can achieve the tradition and credibility of history, with the association with change and evolution within a brand, then you can go, because you can't be looking back all the time.
No point in sitting on it.
But if you can look forward with a very good track record, then you have a very good product.
That's it. And it's the balance of traditionality and the sharp cutting edge of digitally imagining what the future can be and going and doing it.
This is it.
Yeah, my mother used to say, time will tell and frost will try the potatoes, which is a very nice
That's very nice,
God
yes,
rest her.
indeed.
Now, Kevin Lagan, he's building the new Tesco in Banbridge. That's a big development there. The news just got it this morning. Have you seen that news yet? No?
No,
what have I got?
but...
It's Lagan Construction, that's Kevin's company, isn't it? I think it is. Set to build and fit out the new Tesco. Is there a figure on it? No, there isn't a figure on it. But anyway, it's the supermarket. What have they got? 60,000 square feet. 200 people will work on the project to build the store. And there'll be 650 free car park spaces. That's at the outlet in Banbridge.
Well, time will tell. You know, Tesco obviously have a shop in Banbridge already.
Yeah.
So it's a relocation project. But, you know, ultimately from an economic generation perspective, after the building is built, unless it attracts people from the south of Ireland or from England, which is unlikely from England, really it's the same people, it's the same income. So all you're doing is displacing income from one retail shop to another.
Yeah. The Southerners, I don't know if they're so keen to come up nowadays, because I meet some of them occasionally, and they speak of Newry more in the memory than in the reality of the moment. Yeah, we used to go to Newry, blah, blah, blah.
Well, look, I think we all agree that anything that is built on the currency fluctuation is quicksand. But there will be no opportunities from time to time, whether it be in Dundalk or Newry. The good thing is, I think that Newry and Dundalk are coming together closer to eliminate the fragility of the exchange rate alone.
Donnelly brothers, Paul Rooney's joining them as a non-executive chairman.
That's a very shrewd appointment.
They're the motor people.
Yeah, Terence Donnelly and his brother Raymond. That's a very shrewd appointment. I know Paul Rooney very well.
What are his qualities?
Well, he's a man, number one, of great integrity and great vision. He's a former senior partner within PricewaterhouseCoopers. He actually was a rare thing. He was an international PwC partner at one stage, involved in debt restructuring. Did a lot of work in Australia. I think he will bring, the Donnelly Group is very successful, but I think he will bring he will enhance further strategic thinking. Paul is a very sensible, very calm person, a people's person, but someone I believe that any organisation would benefit from him as its chairman.
Oh, any organisation might well benefit too from Michael D. Higgins, who's flown off to see the Queen. The state visit is underway as we speak. That's significant, isn't it?
Well, I think the state visit is very important. I myself am in England at one of the events in the next few days.
Oh, lovely.
My wife and myself. But look, I think that anything which enhances respect and mutual understanding between our two islands is very positive. I think it's very encouraging that relationships probably are at an all-time high, but they can be built upon and further developed, and I believe that will come from the people up.
I have to say to you, I draw your attention to the front page story finally in the Irish News this morning. I've dealt with it already, but it's against that background of great cooperation and great growing respect between the peoples of both islands. Jim Allister of the TUV leader saying this morning that the wearing of GAA T-shirts and jersey, what are those things, playing shirts, at the University of Ulster's Jordanstown campus is creating a substantial chill factor for the minority of Protestant students who go there. What do you make of that? That's a bit silly.
Well, I think it's sorry if that is the case, because I don't think a GAA jersey should do that, and I hope it's never worn with the intention of doing that. Obviously, if Jim Allister believes that, then we need to first of all start from a position of respect to see how we can clarify and communicate a misunderstanding. Certainly, I see nothing wrong with wearing a GAA jersey. I think the two you're looking at here, I don't know, but they look similar, like a Calvin and a Down jersey.
Yeah.
It could be any jersey. But the point I'm making is that certainly they're not made to be any one tradition. They are made in the sense of a sense of belonging, a sense of pride to your club area, or to your county. But actually you're seeing, I mean, you walk into O'Neill's shop here in Newry at present. It's amazing the amount of people you see buying the Boston jersey or the New York jersey. And look, kids love jerseys, and students in particular live in jerseys, whether they
do, surely.
Whether they're GAA or whether they're Man United or whether they're Liverpool or whatever. But I think the message quietly has to be that we all have to I think lower our higher our tolerance levels, but be more tolerant. And I think it's unfortunate that this type of thing couldn't be talked about quietly, first of all, and perhaps I don't think it's a major story.
I don't think it's a major story either, and I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, but I mean, I just think it unfortunate that Jim Allister tax onto it in that way. But as you say, someone, if he talked to people about it and could take it further, but certainly that's not the intention
Yeah, and
of
don't
the
get me wrong,
GAA.
I am conscious that there are environments, work environments,
Yeah, that's different.
That it is appropriate that no football jerseys
yeah,
be worn.
yeah.
And I believe that
That's
should be
okay,
neutral.
yeah.
But
These are youngsters.
But I think once you get to a university and start saying to somebody, you shouldn't wear a badge, you shouldn't wear this, you shouldn't wear the other. I think, it's sad that we can't allow our youth to express their interests and their hobbies, and we have to allow diversity within that context.
Feargal McCormack, you never cease to amaze me with your wisdom.
Well, I don't know about that.
I do know about that.
Every day is
because
a
you have
challenge.
little nuances, little morsels in there constantly that makes us think. Go well.
Thank you very much.
Take
Owen.
care.
Good
All the
morning.
best to you. Bye bye.
Across the street, the river runs down in the gutter. Life is slipping away. Let me still exist in another place, running on the cover of a helicopter plane. Flames are getting higher in efforts, burning down the bridges of my memory. Love may still be alive, somewhere, where they're down and only dear 100 steel towns away. For the rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with the words I love you rolling off my tongue. No, never will I roam, for I know my place is home, where the ocean meets the sky. I can stand. Photographs, kerosene, light up my darkness, light it up, light it up, light it up. I can still feel a touch of your thin blue jeans, running down the alley. I got my eyes all over you, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, the rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with the words I love you rolling off my tongue. No, never will I roam, for I know my place is home, where the ocean meets the sky. I can stand. I'll be staying. I've got lightning in my veins, sweating like a hangover, slot machine. Love may still exist in another place. I'm just yanking back the handle, no expression on my face.